Hello, darling friend. I have 3 storytelling games which I want to share with you, which I hope you will really enjoy. I love sharing storytelling drama games, and they are so good for our health and well-being. Not only do they build on our muscle of imagination, but they also strengthen our ability to be creative. They enhance our communication skills and also our critical thinking. But most importantly, maybe, is that we can have fun. We can be in community and we can enjoy being together. So we reduce those cortisol levels and we increase our serotonin and dopamine levels. That laughter that these storytelling games can create really gives our body a healthy, well-being workout. So the first game that I want to share with you is what I used to call with my family the magic carpet ride. It's the ABC story game. When my daughter was little, we used to have to walk up a very long hill to get to school, and she hated it. So, oh no, please, can we just drive? And I'd say, do you know what? All we have to do is jump on our magic carpet and we will be up at the top of the hill before we know it. Now, the magic carpet ride could be all sorts of different games, but this was the one that stuck. This was the one that we seemed to enjoy the most. So I would start the story, and I would start the story using the letter A at the beginning of the first sentence. So it could start with, a boy walked down the hill, or another reason that I want to share this story with you, or at about 5:30. Right, so you get the picture. And then I would say 1 or 2 sentences to start this story, to open the story, and then pass it to my daughter at the time, but anybody who's with you, and she would continue that story, but using the letter B to start her part of the story. So another day was dawning. Everybody was wide awake and excited. And then I'd pass the story and she would continue. But when they looked outside, they could see across in the valley something terrible was happening. Okay? And then the next person carries on that story with C. Could it possibly be a day where all the dragons were gathering together? Yeah, and so on and so on. And you can carry on the story, A, until it finishes, or B, until you get to the end of the alphabet. It's a great story to play in the car, whilst you're waiting for a meal, at the end of the day, anytime really, at New Year, at a party. And of course, depending on whether it's the whole family or if it's just us as adults getting a little bit sloshed with our glasses of wine, these stories are fun, they're hilarious, and they get better the more and more we do it, the more and more we play. And one little tip, only one little tip, is that if you can remember what the person before said and the person before that, if you can remember back to the beginning of the story and then weave it back in, it's so much more fun. Oh, it's another tip. Sorry, this is 2 tips. The other tip is that the more down to earth the story, often the more fun it is. So, of course, you can take it out up into the atmosphere, up into all sorts of realms of fantasy. That's great fun. But actually those pedestrian stories, those stories that stay closer to yourself, can often work out to be much more fun. But anyway, try it. See what you think. See if you like it. Have you played this game before? It's not new to me. Obviously, it's been around for centuries, but I really love it. So for me, that's the magic carpet ride. The next game that I want to suggest is person, place, object. When you have a story, you need those 3 things. I call it my POP stories: person, object, place. You can put them in any order at all. and you could time yourselves. So when I was performing in I Believe in Unicorns, which is a story based on Michael Morpurgo's brilliant book, and I've performed that all around the world to hundreds and thousands of people. When I do that show, in the middle of that, I set myself the challenge of telling a 3-minute story, and I gather a person, an object and a place from the people in the audience. So any name at all, and all your audience can give you the name. Let's say, Penelope. And object, an O, let's say an orange, and a place. Let's say, parched land. So it could be a physical place, it could be an imaginary place, whatever you like. And then you have to create a story about Penelope, the orange, and this parched land. Because Penelope was walking through a desert over the parched land. They hadn't had rain for years and years and years, and it was so hot. And Penelope was thirsty. She hadn't been walking for very long. She looked and felt into her pocket where she thought she had an orange. Okay, and so you carry on, right? So that's something you could set yourself the target of saying, right, 3 minutes, and then you have to pass it on to the next person. You could share this story between you, or you could have standalone stories. That's my second game. The third game is what I call I Spy. So for this one, you need a prop. You need a napkin or a serviette, a tissue, and the first person has to take this and scrunch it up and then decide what it is. This is a ghost. Or this is a dog collar. I was going to say snot. Okay, 2 rules for this. One is you must have fun. You can be as silly as you like. The other is that you, depending on how many there are of you, you just pass it around, scrunch it up and pass it around to the next person. Don't decide what it is until it's in your hand. Now, I've said this lots of times, but if you really listen to what the other person is showing you, you'll get loads of ideas. And you go, it could be this, it could be this. You've got to drop all of those. Don't cheat. You've got to drop all of those and allow it to come to you. It's so much more interesting when you do that. It also means you listen better. So we've got 2 ears, 1 mouth, use them in that ratio. So you can really listen to the other people, have a laugh, and then you can just see what it might be. Oh, right, okay, so it's a parachute. I don't know if I can make that into a parachute. And the more you play, the better you'll get at it. So, 3 games for you to play whenever you fancy, whenever you've got a moment. It'll allow you to come together, to connect with each other, to have fun together. I hope you really enjoy them. Tell me, I'm sure you've probably played them before, but try them again. Just have a go. Let me know what you think. Give me the thumbs up if you like them. Share them with other people so they can enjoy them too if you fancy. I don't mind if you do that. And subscribe if you'd like to. Loads of stories, story games are in my book, 7 Secrets of Spontaneous Storytelling. If you want more storytelling games that are similar, but I will post more here because I enjoy doing that. Lots of love to you.